Hey guys, before the video starts, I want to let you know that I have a Ko-fi. I am not monetized, I don't get sponsorships, I don't get anything, and that means I get 0 cents from any art that I do across all the platforms I work on. So if you want to support me and what I do, please pitch in a few dollars. Thank you. Hi, I'm Saar, and before we actually start this video, I need a little warning that if you haven't seen my last video, a lot of this here would not make any sense. So please check that out. I worked a lot on it. A quick summary for what's going on here, because it's been like 3 months since I've last been here. I'm so sorry about that, by the way. But this is my funky little series where I take each song from my favorite album and turn it into some creative, funky aesthetic art. Once again, another heads up to watch my last video because it's a good video and it gives a little background information on motifs and symbolism and just like the inner workings of our musician, Saar Hendelman's head, going into like all of his songs, and we're going to be picking them apart to see why I did what I have done. This is a 3-part series, so by the time that this is done, we will be only 2/3 of the way done. So, yippee! Okay, so now we're going to jump right into it in discussion of Saar's 4th song in this album called Bitter Tool. This song is kind of insane. It's weird, it's strange, it has immaculate vibes. You could say it's a bit aesthetic, but sadly it's his least listened to song over on Spotify, which is just depressing because it's one of my favorites. If you haven't listened to any of the songs in this album yet, or like the album in general, please do, because it's an experience you're missing out on, and you'll understand what I'm coming at with these songs instead of just me reading the lyrics. It's like doing your own little bit of research on your end for my little bit of research on my end. At the beginning of this song, there's a sound of like wailing and crying and the building up of drums, which in my script says is a pleasant surprise, but it's not pleasant, it's just a surprise compared to how all the other songs start. Like, it kind of adds to the themes of like the negative impact of war, which is referenced to lyrics which I'll probably have highlighted up above. The song feels like it's in the perspective of a soldier who doesn't like needless bloodshed because, he's in war and blood is horrible. Of course, obviously. Like the crying and wailing in the beginning can be representative of, casualties because war. This is exemplified with the lines, "My limbs scrape up against your war, and your war to bleed me harder," really symbolizes this. But what if it's a metaphorical war? Because I'm always reading to these songs way deeper than I need to be, and I don't know even the real interpretation because I can just be wrong, which is kind of silly to think about. Like, what if the war was some sort of internal struggle? What if his war was him against, like, a lover, a friend, a partner, or whatever? I literally don't know what's right or wrong, true or whatever, heads or tails. Like, who am I to judge? And I'm literally just clueless. Like, in the entire song, there is a certain you that is being described as the cause of all the pain, all the trouble, all, like, the spicy tea. But, like, who is this you? And is it fucking Nietzsche? Some of you at home might be sitting there like, whoa, Saar, you sound like MatPat bring up the Quran when trying to explain like Minecraft theory videos.
Islamic faith, the number 23 matters a lot, meaning that those 23 pillars in the Minecraft ocean.
What is Friedrich Nietzsche doing here? Like, this is completely out of nowhere. But for my beloved fans who have listened to the song like I said I did before I started talking about what I am talking about or whatever, you know what's up. You know what's going down. Like, after all the crying and stuff and the beginning stops, like, come on, chill. The first line of lyrics of the actual song is, "Save me, Nietzsche, make me better." Before we continue on, we gotta address the Nietzsche in the room. For songs like this, I think after starting from this point, I was really like digging and clawing into like every little meaning. So I knew Nietzsche was a famous philosopher, so I looked into Nietzsche, Friedrich Nietzsche, and his philosophies. Our guy Friedrich Nietzsche, he is the man behind such stellar quotes like, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger," and "God is dead, we have killed him," which I quote often, but didn't know it was from him. His work mainly delves into concepts of existentialism, nihilism. I'll probably put, a link in the description about Nietzsche because I am not certified to explain these concepts and him in general, but I quite enjoy existentialism pieces of media. My favorite play / radio drama / whatever is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, which I have discussed a lot on my Instagram page, and I'll probably make a video on that after I re-listen to the 2019 BBC radio drama of my favorite boys. But existentialism is a piece of media, and the Barbie movie was surprisingly existential, so everyone has dealt with existential themes. So existentialism, like death, meaning of life, whatever. So I tried incorporating that as much as I could into my piece. So I just put death in there. Like, if you take a person who is uneducated about nihilism, like me when I was actually drawing this piece, and ask them what it's about, they'll probably say like death, despair, just depression. And I just took all those feelings, rolled them up in a ball, and chucked it at my guy. That created a whole size shape in his chest area that killed him. So I just drew a dead man, killed Kakyoin style. That's a JoJo reference, by the way. From what I've learned about existentialism, because nihilism, existentialism, what I was just discussing in my AP literature class last year, my teacher taught us that like the height of existentialism was like around after the World Wars, like Albert Camus era. And because the whole idea back then is, if God's real, then how the fuck did any of this happen? Which I still ask to this day. Just kidding, by the way, just kidding. But yeah, it's probably a super inaccurate World War II uniform. I don't remember what country I was referencing. It's just, I don't know, a time period-y uniform. And I think it might have got the vibes right. But one thing I find really interesting about Saar and the lyrics of this song is that it's weirdly existential for a guy who keeps mentioning God in his lyrics. Yeah, so with a lot of lyrics being like, I ask for mercy, I beg for forgiveness, but based on what I just said about, the mercy and the forgiveness, why is Saar potentially asking Nietzsche for forgiveness, like the man's dead? It makes sense with like the lines, but in my dreams, these things don't matter, which cements the life is meaningless part, if that makes sense, because I am reaching and grasping. And also there's my favorite line of the song, my hell is a butterfly. It might be because death is quick and easy escapable, similar to a butterfly flying away with misery. Honestly, it's just really random, but also poetic. I previously made Saar fan art with this line, because, my death is a fucking butterfly. So I, of course, had to have butterflies in the piece for, the vibes. So while, I think everything I mentioned about the song has been mentioned, I'm just gonna mention some weird thing I discovered in the lyrics while trying to write the script for this video. There is a line of lyrics within this song where Saar sings, I head on headlights and disappear. What other song does Saar mention a car indirectly in? Oh, I know. Stutter Divine, the second song in this entire series. Wow, cars are mentioned twice. What is this, a motif or whatever? Like, you can mention anything. but it's just headlights in a car and some sort of accident happening or something horrible. Like, I'm pretty sure in the other song, a car submerges in water. Okay, that's like a car disappearing. Your car is disappearing, Saar. Who the fuck disappeared in a car? How does this connect to an overarching theme? Like, the tones are kind of similar. If I read both songs a certain way, then sure, maybe. But I'm probably grasping at straws like I always do with these type of things. Anyways, proud of the composition of this one. The pose is good. My followers ate this up. Nom 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 nom. A girl dinner. But my followers keep calling this thing that I do Ty's signature mist / smoke / squiggle / whatever else they may call it. It just adds to the whole piece as a whole, because what else am I gonna do? I'm Tysour. That's like the only thing I draw. Super proud of the foliage in this one. Took a while. I got a brush pack from this artist up above, and it just adds to the whole thing instead of him floating in space compared to the original. God damn, this video is gonna be a long one. Woo! Now, this next piece is like where my art series starts to derail off the tracks, gets out of here, because firstly, all my previous pieces, all of the inspirations can be linked to like 1 or 2 lyrics. Like, it's just those 2 right there. No. This one is the whole song. The whole one. So the time in between making the piece for Bitter Tool and this one, it was like over a month. This song is called Noise, and it's a bit kooky. It's a bit insane. Just as insane as the artist block that I had making it. So for the entire series, I know I keep saying this one point, it was the weakest piece back in 2020, and I bet you I'm still gonna say that for the later pieces. That's not gonna change. But compared to the themes and the tones of the song, this has the weakest connection. I did not have a good grasp on the song, and I didn't like the art that I made. So this time, I decided to go hyperdrive. Okay, so before, when I had no grasp on the song, I continued having no grasp on the song for 2-3 years, whatever was the gap between this and then. So I was like, how the hell am I suddenly gonna gain knowledge or like a vibe? So I did what I was doing at the time for one of my classes, annotating the fuck out of it AP Lit style. I was digging through it as if it was the yellow wallpaper. Like, come on, baby, I need something. And when I dug deep for like any sort of meaning that I could get. But some bits of it carried from the last song in like terms of philosophy and stuff like that. Because these 2 songs are really his philosophy-centric songs, where he, brings up themes and just concepts as well as philosophers. One of these is Occam's Razor, and Kafka. Occam's Razor is just, when stuff is in the simplest form, it is like, the easy explanation is probably the thing that it is probably going for. Like, if a girl goes, I'm hungry, you don't want to dig into it deeply, as if, whatever. It's just, she's hungry. So, that's Occam's Razor. And for Kafka, I did it based on the philosophies that stemmed from his work, especially the term Kafkaesque. You've probably heard of Kafkaesque before. I'm not good at summarizing it. It's hard for me to grapple because my brain is so small. But if something is Kafkaesque, it means that it's nightmarishly complex, bizarre, or illogical. But in addition, I found that one of quote-unquote Kafka's distinguished traits, end quote, is a dedication to the truth. Quote-unquote absolute truthfulness. I guess that goes hand in hand with Occam's Razor. I mean, don't quote me on whatever Kafkaesque or whatever Kafka is about. Just Google it, look it up for yourself. Like I said, I'm not a philosopher. I'm not big on English. I'm literally an artist and a STEM major. Like, I don't know what you want from me. So I took the whole part about truth and all that stuff and kind of went off of it, but not really. By went off of it, I mean I pondered, because this song kind of made me think in a weird way. Okay, so time to use those big boy things I learned from the lyrics and try connecting them in whatever way I can. And from that, I kind of came up with the conclusion that the song is about a lover that has left the protagonist of the song. Like, protagonist, that's what we're gonna call it. It could have been Saar, it could just be a guy he's singing about, whatever. But it is themes of lost love. Like, they're not dead, they just left him. And that this main protagonist guy is making up illogical reasons on how this could have ever happened to him, when it could have just been like, I don't know, a simple solution. It's signified in like some of the opening lyrics. Sometimes when Wacom comes to shave me, I cut myself, losing sleep, making up things that leave me here. So the cutting of Wacom's razor signifies that the MC, we'll just call him MC, is trying to go against the simple solution that could have happened. So I'm just gonna check real quick the lyrics. I'm gonna retell it to myself. Sometimes when Wacom comes to shave me, I cut myself. So Wacom's coming to give him a straight answer, but he cut because he's going against it, and now he's losing sleep, making up things that leave me here. He is misinterpreting everything. He's trying to come up with like these crazy complicated solutions, like, how am I alone? How could this have happened to me? It's like, I don't know, your personality sucks or something. Don't ask me. But like, honestly, this has nothing to do with like the actual drawing, but I did too much research on this actual song just to like leave it out, and I think it's kind of cool just to mention like the connection of these two songs next to each other and the use of philosophers and philosophy to like convey the message that's not out right there. Like, you have to interpret it and figure it out on your own to come up with it. And I think most of the stuff I'm going to be discussing from here on out follows this train of thought, where I am saying things that don't really connect to what you're seeing up above, but I put too much thought into it just to leave it out, because I'm silly like that. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick fire of a ton of the lyrics for the song here, just to like tell you what I've annotated, what I found out, whatever, because it kind of added to my experience of the song and just my enjoyment overall in a way, if that makes sense. So directly after everything with Occam's razor, there is the little section where it's like, thirsty and chapped in fever blistered desert lips, the air is stiff, Nika, 100 feet shuffle here. You may be wondering, Tysour, what is this part referring to? I'll give you a guess. Did you guess the Bible? Then you're correct. I haven't read the Bible, but I'm pretty sure it is referring to the Exodus of the Jewish people. It could be not. I might be reading into it too deeply. It doesn't reference anything in the song. I don't know why the Exodus is referenced here, if it is referenced at all. But what I am picking up is the name Nika, N-I-C-A. It's a beautiful name. But there is this thing in Christianity called this, because I cannot read this, but that means Jesus conquers. That is irrelevant because it is also a girl's name of Latin origin meaning true image, which is perfect in reference to Occam's razor and Kafka and everything else I've previously mentioned. So that it didn't do anything, but I was like, yes, it's making sense. But I also went the route that's like, okay, this could just be like reaffirming my feelings, or could this be said lover? Could she be the truth and the reality that the MC is blindly ignoring? Who knows? I don't know what any of this means. I would love to have an interview with Saar to see what any of this means, because I am just digging and tearing and digging and tearing and digging and tearing. I'm literally going insane. No, because this is my third or fourth or whatever number recording of just this section, and I had to stop, and I was just depressed, and I just had to do it again because, oh my god, this sucks ass. But whatever, stop ranting. Let's go into the next section, the section after this, okay? Because I love this section. But this will also connect to another section of the song. So let me just show you. So near the beginning of the song, he goes, "And I hate the way you call me pretty." But I'm pretty sure later in the song, near halfway, he goes, "You say that I've been ugly to you," which is beautiful juxtaposition of the word pretty, ugly, interior, exterior, because it's the comparison of the pretty exterior and the ugly interior. Because before, in the beginning of the song, it's him complaining that she's gone, and then later he's like learning and changing, moving on. But I'm not there yet. So when we get there, you'll probably make connections, or you'll listen to the song and make connections, or look at the lyrics and make connections, or I'll probably paste or share whatever my annotations, and you can see the connections. I am losing my mind a bit, but that's okay. It's probably referencing how the woman, the lover, I don't know what gender, it's probably a girl. Actually, yes, it's a girl. But she fell for this beautiful, wonderful exterior, but then he's shitty. He's a shitty person, and that's why she left him. But he doesn't know that yet until later, because right now he's in the grip. No, he's not in the grip. He's being cut. He's being cut in half. He's cut by Occam's razor, right? And he's not seeing the Nika yet. He's not seeing the true image. So he's like, "But you said I was beautiful. You said you loved me. What the hell is happening?" Okay, I might be making connections. This might actually be good. Okay, looks, personality, whatever. This is wonderful battle. But this is followed. So it's basically, "And I hate the way you call me pretty when I bleed on your dress." The flow and whatever doesn't make sense. Whatever. "Bleed on your dress" is the title of the album. So that makes me happy, because then I can draw a pretty man in a dress with nosebleed, because he has to bleed on the dress somehow. And I'm not drawing anything else for how he's bleeding. Right. So now he's bleeding. And then it is, "I am bleeding on your dress, and I am drowning in this noise." Okay, you can't drown in noise. You drown in water. What are you doing? So I did a bit of Googling, right? So when you're drowning, you hear this thing called a death rattle. Apparently, allegedly, whatever you say when you might be wrong. So I might have drawn a snake with it, but I didn't want to draw a snake, so there's no snake, right? There's also this thing called drown noise, which like prevents other noise from being heard. Whatever. It's strange. I kind of liked it. So I made him like only hear this like wispy white thing that like drowned out the rest of the noise or whatever. I don't know. He was drowning in noise. But with the drowning and the noise, I did, like I just said, I just drew him with the noise, but drowning water. So I drew water because it made sense. Okay? I don't know what I'm doing, but I was just like highlighting random words throughout. I'd be like, okay, I could draw this. I can draw this. I'm trying to like encapsulate the whole song in a way, but I didn't do it right. I gotta make a heartbroken man, not like a man bleeding in a dress. So after this, the lyric right after it is, "I'm hiding in the belly of a fat man." What the fuck? What? It was super weird to me, and it always will be. It's really like a strange line of lyric to hear, but it's giving gluttony. It's giving 7 deadly sins. One of that is pride. He's prideful. Whatever. I don't know what any of this means. I'm just making up shit. This is followed by the lines, "Only sinners here," and that goes with the gluttony bit I was just mentioning before. So sinners, sin, devil, whatever. So I drew a devil. Okay, see, I'm just picking up random things and drawing it. Instead of the wonderful "My Hell's Butterfly" I did for Bitter Tool. God. Like, and if I bleed, it's not my poison. God, I miss that. I miss that era of this series. Woo. So after this, the song kind of separates into 2 parts, where you can kind of tell how the lyrics just change in the way of its meaning. Because in the beginning, there's this line, and I hate the way I run to you. Like, he's not ready to give her up. He's like, why am I being let go? Why don't you love me? Am I not good enough anymore? It's like, he's heartbroken. He's in that era where he's like, but babe, I miss you. It's like when you break up with a guy and your ex texts you, like, I miss us. I still love you. It's like, And then later in the song, it's like, run off to him. Okay. So the song might be about unrequited love, or her just never loving him, actually. Like, it's given mixed signals. I think it might be him accepting that she's moved on and found new love. It's an interesting part of the song, and it adds melancholy to the piece. So in the end, I use the lyrics, and I hate the way you call me pretty, and when I bleed on your dress, I'm drowning in this noise, only sinners here, sick of being everybody else, sick of being. I liked the part of the lyrics, sick of being everyone else, sick of being, because I'm pretty sure it's talking about himself. So that's some like deep shit that I don't want to go into. So I just made like a broken mirror representing that. And I like broken mirrors, especially when it's reflecting not in the right direction. Like, it's a bit creepy. It's a bit interesting. Like, it reflects the dual nature of the character, since he's just a liar with two faces. He's a two-faced liar. But don't let his face deceive you. But, you know, he's just really a sad boy in the end. Honestly. God, I took too long talking about noise, and I'm finally on the third part. The final part of this second part of this 3-part series. So, you know, we're finally 2/3 of the way done. So when previously I was talking about the different lyrics of all the songs and just tearing them apart, I had a thing to work off of, right? Not here, not now. So now the song we are on is called Weimar. And there is not even a single bit of words, not even a single bit of lyrics. There's no words, it's just instrumental, just purely instrumental. So back in 2020, when I was first trying to tackle this, I had a vibe I was going for, but I didn't know what to do with it. So my friend Swoosh Doodles, this right here, please check out her work. Her work's really good, and she's a really good friend of mine. She created a character that I could use, so it gave me a little nudge in the direction to create this piece right here. So trying to like handle this was kind of really hard. So the sounds that are hard to describe outside of the piano that's being played. So it's very prominent piano in all of Saar's songs because he is a pianist. He composed piano stuff for a lot of different pieces of media. Whatever, piano. So in a way, it feels a bit like the music that they would put over sound film. Just listen to it. It's not even that long. Just if there is a song you're going to listen to this one, right? It's the only way I can describe any of this. So silent film era early 1920s. So outside of the piano, which is playing through the song, it's like clanky metal. So it gave us kind of like this robot man concept, this very old steampunk-ish cabaret, whatever, robot man. And while I love her concept she originally came up with, I had to change it a bit. It needed a bit of sprucing up. So the only thing I really had to go for this piece was the title of the song, Weimar. So I already knew what Weimar is since I did a research on the location a couple months ago, but most people wouldn't know it because they aren't in the little niche community that I am in already. Because you see, Weimar Cabaret is very influential on dark cabaret as it is today, because the cabaret made back then, especially with its Berlin and Jewish influences, added to the media, and that was picked up in the 80s by the Tiger Lilies, and then that was picked up by Amanda Palmer and blah 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 dark cabaret, which is this genre of music, which is my favorite genre of music, and I'm passionate about it. But it all comes from Weimar, and I think that is a perfect, like, it was meaningful, it was a reference, and also Weimar Cabaret is just influential on just the music in the time period and just cabaret in general and just old-timey piano and whatever. Weimar, right? And this big giant scene of Weimar cabaret in Germany was a big thing in the 1920s, which is also the vibes given by the song. And, you know, Saar is a big man in this genre, especially with his work in The Devil's Carnival, in Repo, and in American Murder Song. And I can keep going because I'm literally obsessed with this man. But it can go either way. My script literally says MatPat using the Quran in his Minecraft theory, but I already used that reference. But let's just say that again. It's literally, I'm just making MatPat's-esque references because I'm literally insane. It's just a theory, a Saar theory. Anyways, I was just stumbling through Pinterest like I do, looking for images that can like a bit inspire me, because I knew the vibe I was going for. I knew the vibe, but I literally did not know what to do. I was so confused. But then little angel noises come in because past Tysour happened to save this image in her pins for reference images. God, it is perfect. It is the most perfect image. It's giving burlesque cabaret. Like, oh my god. With this image and a lot of similar images that Pinterest gave to it, and just drag queens. Drag queens are also like influential in the making of this piece, and just my knowledge on burlesque and 1920s culture. I created this piece right here, and I think my favorite part of this piece in the end was just the composition and the colors. The colors could have been way better. There was like a vibe I was going for, but I couldn't get there. But I can just redo this series in the future and waste another 3 months of my life. Here are the 6 pieces I finally have done in this roller coaster ride of a series. By the way, I finally have an imprint where these 6 pieces are up on sale if you want to buy them, because they're funky and they're cool and I think you might like them. The next 3 pieces will be released with the next video. It would have been cool if I had imprint way back when I did the first part, but that's too late. I am literally writing scripts for this at 1 a.m. And the script was also written like 4 months ago, so 4 a.m. 4 months ago, trying to come up with English major levels of analysis without any background knowledge on the singer, on like anything else, like literary analysis. I'm lacking literary analysis, but I might also have it. Who knows? God, I want an interview with Saar in the future and like honest creations, but I doubt that's possible in the time being because he's a very busy man and I don't have that good questions to ask him. Like, I just have 9 questions. Like, what does this song mean? What does this song mean? What does this song mean? Or I just say a random part of the song and he goes, I don't know, it's there for the aesthetic. Whatever. But on other things, I'm just going to talk for a bit. If you are done, just leave. But I ordered the Bleed on Your Dress CD last night. Last night was 4 months ago last night. So I have it now. I have the CD. I'm very happy with my purchase. It's so good. I think they only have 4 more of the CDs left on Amazon. So if you like it so far, just get it before it's gone. Because, oh my god, I love just having it in like a physical copy in my hand. I think I want other Dark Cabaret CDs because I know all of them. Everyone in this niche genre, they have CDs, but they're such low quantity. And they're not going to print anytime soon because a lot of their bands have like disbanded or whatever. God, I need Scarring Party CDs. But I'll talk about them another time. But yeah, the music is really good for this Saar's album. Just listen to it. We got 3 more pieces to go, and it's gotten to a more cryptic level, and the songs are cryptic too. So that's fun. We're gonna talk about that, whatever. Anyways, I've been Ty. You've been you. I don't know who you are. Who are you? Tell me about yourself. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, really? You haven't told me that yet. Oh, sweet. Anyways, I might be seeing you, I might not be. Who knows? And like I always say whenever I have a giant gap, I hope to not see you guys in another 3 to 4 months. Bye bye.